We are a baby steps industry. We just started in this area. And we've made an impact because many of the big players do understand. JP Morgan does understand the value of blockchain and crypto. They definitely understand that this is going to be the next step. Imagine this. If today I start talking to you about derivatives and about complex financial instruments, and I tell you that this is how terrorists are financed, and I tell you that there's over $3 trillion of money laundering going through, you would never want to use a bank.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was the director of the Token Summit in Liechtenstein, just uploaded on the 13th of October. Yes, JP Morgan does understand the value of blockchain and crypto, and if you learn about how terrorists are financed and the $3 trillion of money laundering that goes through our banks, you'd probably never use a bank. But you won't believe what Senator Warren had to say about terrorist financing. The U.S. Senator has sent a letter to the White House claiming that crypto is a national security threat being used to fund terrorism. Boy, I don't know. I just don't have words for this today. In this video, you're going to get some jam-packed information that I think you're going to like. There is a new Coinbase XRP futures trading offering going on. What does that mean? Especially since they added XRP into that offering. And what happens to encryption when the quantum computers arrive? Yeah, I'm talking about your secret keys. And the big news, XRP is listed as one of 6 cryptocurrencies in Switzerland. I'm talking about the very prestigious Zug Cantonal Bank, founded in 1892 with 11,000 shareholders and unlimited government guarantee. But first, I want to tell you the big guns are coming out. This is an all hands on deck Ripple live space on X. It's going to be my time on October 21st at 1 o'clock in the morning. You're going to have to check for what your time is in the world by setting that reminder. And I'll tell you, look at this. The CTO of Ripple, that would be David Schwartz, or known as Joel Katz on X. He's going to be joined by the DeFi lead, also the head of research at Ripple, and the head of performance engineering at Ripple. Now, what is going on? Well, they want to talk about the automated market maker. This is going to be a Q&A. And why the big push? Well, I think it's because of this. There are currently 5 amendments that are open for voting right now. You can see at the top here, AMM, the automated market maker, is 1, followed by the clawback, and then the fix reduced offers and the fixed NFT token remint, and then the XRP fees. But it's this AMM that they're going to be talking about. It's the vote has been, well, kind of hanging at a very low percentage for the approval. Currently, and this is at 4 now with a yay vote, only 11.76% of the 80% required to pass, and it's been, well, it was hanging at 3 for a very long time. There is somebody new who came in and voted yesterday. That would be the students.cs.ucl.ac.uk. So this validator has joined the other 3 for a yes vote. The live Twitter space is going to give a chance for the answers to many questions that still might be out there in terms of the risks of how it's going to affect the mainnet. And I think that, yeah, it's needed, but it's going to be so interesting to, I've never witnessed any sort of push like this to get a vote through where the big guns come out and they create a live space to actually get that initiative through. It's going to be quite interesting. You don't want to miss this, I'm sure. If you have XRP in your holdings, you'll want to tune in. Now, I'm going to try to tune in live because sometimes, even though they intend to recording or they intend to record them, sometimes they have a failure to do so. I'm going to definitely do the best to stay up and listen to that in its entirety, starting at 1 a.m. my time in Tokyo. Hopefully, it's not such a crazy time for you. It was Santiago Valdez in his post today on X that alerted me that the Coinbase perpetual futures has gone live. Yeah, this is very interesting. It's not for the US, it is for their international customers, but it does include XRP. So, what exactly does this mean? Futures trading is a type of derivative, and not all the firms that manage wealth offer futures trading because it's quite high risk, especially with leverage. Fidelity, for example, does not allow futures trading. Currently, 75% of all trades in crypto are of a derivative form. And it's estimated that 40% comes from retail, 20% from institutional, 15% from the market makers, 20% from the exchanges, and then 5% from the arbitrageurs and trading firms. So if people tell you this is going to be really opening the door to a lot of institutional investors, I am not really so sure on that because of the risk involved. Usually the family offices, they don't like this much risk. I think you're going to see more retail pile in. And what I'm really paying attention to is because Binance currently has a little over 50% of the market share when it comes to the crypto derivative market. I'm curious how much Coinbase is going to cut in to that share. If you want to pay attention to the institutional investors in this crypto space, and you do, this is the news that you want to pay attention to. This is just a couple of weeks ago. October 3rd is when it came out in the Swiss papers, or I say papers, but you know what I mean, on the in the media. Züger Kantonalbank, they launched the crypto asset and trading and storage. And this is very interesting. There are 6 crypto assets. I'm going to show you which ones they are very soon here. But I want to tell you, this is a bank that is really in the middle of where all the wealth is concentrated in Switzerland. Their total assets are 18.6 billion. They're very profitable. They employ 448 full-time positions, and Zug is just where the money is happening. All right, here is their offering, and it's fully regulated. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Matic, and Uniswap, all traded and stored. This is where they're located. And what we have over here is the country of Liechtenstein. And to the right, you have Austria. Down south, you have Italy. To the west or left, you have France. And to the north is Germany. Today, the BIS announced that they have a Cybersecurity for Central Bank Digital Currency conference. And this is going to address topics including digital transformation for the security or novel attack patterns for DeFi and the threat of quantum computing. Yeah, this is going to be a topic that is really growing in importance, and you're going to hear a lot more about it. I've got somebody coming onto the channel that you're really going to want to hear. We're creating a series of videos, and here's just a short little peek into that content.
Hi, I'm Anastasia Marchenkova, and I've been in the quantum industry and academia for almost 15 years now. I started my work in quantum telecommunications in undergrad, where I studied neutral atom quantum memories. Then I went into graduate school and wanted to do a little work with trapped ions, got a little bored, and went into academia, where I started working on superconducting qubits, software engineering, and algorithms. So that's why the government right now in the US is saying, you got to start upgrading now. Government vendors are already under directives to start going through and documenting what's their cryptography, where is it, how do they need to upgrade, who are their vendors, what's their roadmaps, right? So this is a huge task because encryption is everywhere in our digital lives and it's not going to go away, and we need to keep it active, and we need to be able to quickly upgrade in face of these threats.
I'm going to let a couple of clips take you out. This is Ripple's policy director, Andrew Whitworth. This is very interesting, especially how the dollar is gaining traction and being spread through the use of stablecoins. All right, until next time, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
So I'm Andrew Whitworth. I'm Policy Director for EMEA for Ripple. Ripple is a B2B blockchain tech service company. We work mainly in the cross-border payment space, do a lot of work both with private and public forms of digital money. I'm also the chair of the Blockchain for Europe Association based in Brussels. So we have a lot of these similar conversations in the European context as well. Ultimately, I see, certainly Ripple, my company, sees that in the future there will be a mix of different types of money, physical, digital, private, and public. And really what matters is that the firms in this space work together to create a space where consumers or end users, whatever they may be, understand what they're getting and know how to move between this in a coherent way. Ripple does quite a lot of work with central banks around the world to help them figure out what they want to do with a CBDC, do some pilot projects, help them understand the technology. For a lot of these central banks, and these tend to be in emerging economies, it is about financial inclusion. Like we have one famous pilot with Palau, this is not a plug, but they've got many islands, and until very recently, they had to physically ship in ships cash to each island. Now that's difficult, dangerous, expensive, inefficient. So they're very interested in developing some kind of CBDC, or in their case, because they're dollarized, sort of stablecoin solution. So you can see that there are benefits. Now, maybe these aren't all the same benefits in each country. So again, it goes back to the point of, well, what do you want it for? What do you need it for? But I think there are public policy benefits.
People in what are notionally non-dollar countries are saving dollars, and stablecoins are 99.5% denominated in dollars, and they're really helping to export dollars around the world and removing some of the monetary policy choices from jurisdictions. And some may be too far gone, and I agree, if you live in a country with a rapidly devaluing currency, of course you want to hold a more stable currency, and that should be your right. But where's the tipping point? If we give everybody access to always on dollars all the time, and we don't give them any kind of alternative that's useful, does the world just run on the dollar?
I don't know if we want to see a world in which every country's economy is ultimately dollarized. I don't say that because I have any problem with the United States, not at all. But I think if we think that individual states of individual nations have the duty and right to do what they think is best for the needs of their citizens, well, independent monetary policy is a pretty large plank of that. It's up to individual countries whether they want to exercise that or not. But I think it is right that there should be some framework that should allow them to manage this in the way they think is best. Now, that framework could be regulation on stablecoins, it could be on limitations of foreign stablecoins, it could be on creating a CBDC. Probably some mix of all of these, right? But I think it is perfectly correct for states to have this kind of role in managing the development and the flows of this kind of potentially extra sovereign form of money in their own economy.
And actually in crypto adoption by consumers, Africa's world leading. Instead of using crypto for speculation purposes, as is often used elsewhere, many people in Africa are turning to crypto to make peer-to-peer payments and as a way to preserve wealth. So this is quite an interesting set of use cases, all of which is doing what, as I said in my introduction, Ripple wants to do, which is helping to move value cross borders and cross currencies where necessary. So Africa's a great opportunity, and it has an opportunity to be a great trailblazer and to leapfrog the West as it did earlier with mobile payments.